Hello, welcome to my channel. Now the question here says two forces of 20 Newton and 25 Newton act at a point at an angle of 128 degree to each other. Calculate their resultant force. Now I would like us to go straight and solve this without sketching. I don't want to bother you with the process of sketching these two forces, but the two forces are acting at the same point at an angle of 128 degree to each other. So the direct formula for finding the resultant is to say R square is equal to F1 square, that is the first force square, plus the second the second force squared, plus 2 multiplied by F1 and multiplied by F2 and multiplied by the cosine of the angle between them. So this is a simple formula that can be applied directly in solving a question like this, where you have two forces acting at an angle to each other. Now, don't forget that this is similar to the cosine rule, but not exactly, because in the cosine rule, you have a negative sign here. So if we are using a negative sign here, we are not going to use this angle directly. We are going to use the value of this angle subtracted from 180, and that will be angle 52. But I don't want us to be confused by that subtraction from 180. So that is why I've decided to put the sign positive here so that we can use the angle in the question directly. Take note, this formula helps us to use the angle in the question directly so that there won't be any problem with confusing the angle when it is subtracted from 180. So we just use this formula directly and substitute everything directly, and then that gives us our answer. So that is why I prefer using this formula to the one that has a negative sign, which is exactly cosine rule. So now we can go ahead and substitute directly. So I have 20 square plus 25 square plus 2 times 20 times 25 times cos 128 degrees. So the square of 20 will give me 400. The square of 25 will give me 625. Plus, here I can simply open up brackets and say 2 multiplied by 20, that is 40. 40 multiplied by 25 is going to give me, okay, okay, 40 multiplied by that is going to give me 500 times 2, which is 1000. So 2 times this is 40, and then 40 multiplied by this will give me 1000. So let me use the 1000 there, and then I say times the cosine of 128 will give me a negative value, and that is minus 0.6157. 6157. So this is what it is going to give to me. Now I can continue by saying the sum of these two values will give me 1025. And then this multiplied by because of this negative sign here is going to affect the positive sign here, and then that becomes negative, because positive multiplied by negative is a negative value. And then this multiplied by this is going to give me 615.7. So from there now, I'm going to say 1025 minus 615.7, and that will give me 409.3. So I now have R square as 409.3. 409.3. So for me to get the value of R now, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So if I take the square root of R square, it's simply going to give me R. Don't forget, this square takes care of the root sign, the square root sign. So I'm left with R. And that will be equal to the square root of this side. Don't forget, I'm taking the square root of both sides. So the square root of 409.3. And then the square root of 409.3 will finally give me the value of R as equal to 20.2. So I have 20.2 Newton. And this is the resultant of the forces as the final answer. Please like and share this video so that others can learn from it. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.